media is growing at an extremely fast rate, especially in young teens. Now, I side with the likes of most people on this matter when I say that social media can be extremely damaging for these younger, more impressionable audiences. An opinion piece primarily written by Jean Twenge backs up my thoughts on this matter. The text covers how social media is much more damaging than screen time as a whole. The article entitled Social Media is Riskier for Kids Than Screen Time dives deep into the correlation between mental health in teens and social media use, but more specifically, how this link is stronger yet much easier to control. Twenge, the main author of this article, is an American social psychologist who is well known in her field. Twenge is a professor of psychology at San Diego State University and places emphasis on mental health trends, teens with social media, as well as Gen Z at work. This background definitely makes her credible to speak on the matter, seeing as she studies it as her main focus. No bias is present within her relation to this article, rather the complete opposite, since she is very knowledgeable and educated on the ins and outs of social media in teens. In the article, Twenge questions, does the story change when we limit the analysis to social media, which is where teenagers gather most often? It was further established that using screen time is too broad of a term to truly understand what specifically is affecting the mental health of these teens so negatively. Twenge further analyzes that social media is the type of screen time that is doing all this damage. In the article entitled Persuasive Technology 101, the author states that persuasive technology works so brilliantly because it manipulates human psychology and exploits our weaknesses. This is exactly how Twenge describes social media is affecting today's teens. The figure shown on the screen stems from Twenge's article and depicts the connection between the amount of time a group of teens spends on social media versus the number of them diagnosed with depression. This adds weight to her argument, as it is obvious that the longer teens spent on social media, the more likely they were to have depression. Twenge's focus on this could also go along with the ideas discussed in the Cause and Effect of Filter Bubbles article highlighted in class. The things within each teen's filter bubble could be a contributing factor in the decline of their mental health. For such a short piece, the number of sources seems like a fair amount. The article introduces information from a study done at the University of Oxford, as well as a study done by two Spanish statisticians. Both studies are equally credible as they have background in the same area and provide Twenge a ground for her to base her argument on. Although this information is helpful, Twenge's article could have been much more diverse where the argument is concerned. She didn't really discuss both sides of the issue, but to make this article more balanced, she could have gone into how screen time affects the mental health of developing teens, whether that be positive or negative, for her argument or against her argument. The target demographic of this article is definitely parents who have teenagers who are entering the world of the media. Twenge uses illustrative and descriptive paragraphing styles in order to target these parents and put this issue into perspective for them. The story approach to gaining the audience's perspective introduces concern for the audience's personal connections to the subject, which makes them feel much more inclined to listen to what Twenge has to say.